Hello, my name is Chris Stock, and I'll be helping you today plan a trip to Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida. Before you know it, it'll be a month and a week, a day, before you're headed to one of the greatest places to visit in America. So to get everybody prepared for this wonderful trip that you'll be going on, let's learn how you can be most prepared for this wonderful trip. The trip to Walt Disney World can be one of the greatest experiences of your life. If everything is planned out and you are prepared, then it will be a wonderful trip from the time that you step foot out of your house to the time that you step back into your house from the trip. I myself have recently just come back from Disney World, and I've learned through research and through experience the best way possible to plan for this trip and have a great time on it. Here are some of the topics that I've come up with that I think that can help you as we go through these points. First, it's setting dates to visit Walt Disney World. When is the best time to go? When are the peak hours? When are the non-peak hours? Second, it's what to do after you plan your dates at Walt Disney World. And third, it is when are the best times for you to attend the 4 different parks during your stay at the resort. First of all, let's go back to setting dates for the trip. At WaltDisneyWorld.com, there's a webpage that talks about the peak hours and the non-peak hours. The best thing about this is it shows you that whenever there's going to be more people there and then there's going to be less. The best thing to do is, of course, find out whenever there's going to be less people, because you get more stuff done in less time, and you can cut a week's worth of time down to 4 days if you have to. And then you also need to look at what rides are closed at the time if you're going there. Normally during the non-peak hours there's always a ride closed. In my own personal experience, as me and my wife just went about a month and a half ago, she loves the Peter Pan ride. The ride was closed, and we did not know until we got down there. So definitely it's something that you want to find out. Once again, you can get on WaltDisneyWorld.com and find that out. The next thing that you need to do after you set your dates is find out what resort you want to stay in. They come anywhere from a luxury resort into just a value price resort. A lot of that depends on who you're going with. If you're traveling with children, I would prefer the value price rooms. All these rooms are based either on music, sports, or movies. The sports have anything from basketball court set up in them, football court, and the music has just all types of the rooms are basically, they got usher rooms, and then they got all the big musicians, and then the movie room, which is what I stayed in, it was the Mighty Ducks, and they have 101 Dalmatians, and just all Disney movies. And if you're staying with adults, I would still prefer to stay in a value price room, because you're never in your room. So what's the point of having a nice room and paying all that money if all you're doing is sleeping and showering? The next thing that you got to do is the meal plans. There's something that you need to look into. The meal plans, you can save up to 30% of your money that you normally spend on food, eating out, or just buying food for you in the room. On the average person, they save up to 30%. It's easy and it's very flexible. With this meal plan, you get 1 service meal a day, which that's a dinner. You get 1 quick service meal, which that's breakfast or lunch, either at the resort or in the hotel, and then 1 snack for every day, which a snack in the breakfast can either be a drink and cereal, a drink and a piece of fruit, or at lunch it can be a drink and a pretzel or a drink and nachos or anything like that. Now at the dinner, the service meal that you get, it comes with any restaurant you want in the whole area. Out of all these restaurants, there's, I think, 96 restaurants that you can choose from. You can choose from 96 out of any of those, and they're everywhere in all the resorts. The next great thing would be the Hopper Passes. The Hopper Passes make it available for you to go from one park to another park within the same day. The next thing that you need to do is plan what parks to attend during your stay there. The main thing that you need to look into at this is extra magic hours. The extra magic hours are something that are amazing if you're staying in the resort. If you're not staying in the resort, then you definitely lose the advantage of using the extra magic hours, because you have to be staying on the resort. What the extra magic hours are is every morning and every night in one of the parks that they open either early or they stay open late. And the only people, once again, that can ride those rides or go to the shows are the people who have the extra magic hour or that are staying in the resort. Now, with the extra magic hours, you got to remember when you're there, you got to go get a wristband around 6:30, I believe, and find out where you need to go for that. And it also depends on your eating arrangements, what parts you go to and which day. You don't want to bounce around at dinner time. Believe me, it's very hectic. We were late to one of our dinner reservations because of this. From about 5 o'clock to about 6:30, as the parks are empty, and it is very hard to get around. It is very hectic. So make sure that if you're eating at Magic Kingdom one night, that you're not at Animal Kingdom, and try to get there within 30 minutes because it's going to be impossible. So the best thing to do, of course, is to go to Animal Kingdom that day and eat there. In conclusion with all this, I want to definitely express the importance of getting started on planning the trip immediately. Because like I said, you can find great rates and less people there if you look at the right sources and at the right places. And then definitely, I want you to think about staying on the resort because of the extra magic hours and everything else that comes with it. And then, if you don't do either one of those two, definitely, once you get there, plan your daily schedule. Because if you go to Animal Kingdom, the first thing you want to do is ride the safari in the morning. If you didn't know that without looking into it, then you wouldn't know that the animals are out in the morning and it's the best time to go on the safari. And then the next thing that you want to do is go ride Mount Everest also, because if you don't ride it either really early in the morning or really late at night, you're going to wait about an hour or 2 hours for this one ride whenever you don't have a wait at all. So I definitely would recommend making that. Out of all this said, I hope you have a wonderful vacation, and let's get started on planning it.